Hello, my friends. Welcome to One More Step to Wellness. I'm so happy that you're able to join me today. I've been away for a little while. I have done a number of things over the past few months, including going to my country to host an annual health fair where I'm able to, go in the community, go back to my roots, and meet with my people again. This year it was just so incredible. And I can't wait to show you all the highlights of that trip. That medical mission was something that reminded me that we all have a purpose, that we are called to do a job while we're here on earth, and we must dedicate ourselves and answer the call. So for me, it's about going back to my community and finding myself in various communities talking about health and wellness. As you know, mental health is my passion, something that I hold very dear, and I'm so happy when mental health awareness comes around in May. And that's when I go into the community and I join others who are equally loving, this amazing calling that we all have. Each time I see the responses, it reminds me too that I'm actually in the right space. I'm walking in obedience, and I take great pride in doing so. May was Mental Health Awareness Month, and there was an incredible amount of energy that was, just kind of injected into that month. It's almost like there was not enough time to get what the work done. But every step we take to decrease the stigmas and the biases, the fact that we have a brain means that we all need to care about our mental health. So I'm trying to still understand, why is there such a stigma? What is it about mental health and talking about it that makes us so terrified? After all, the brain is the captain of the ship. So let us just keep moving forward. Let us keep talking about mental health. It is not an option. It is just what needs to happen. And it is Men's Health Month. And of course, Father's Day is also in June. So today I want to talk about men and their mental health. Let's just look at it this way. It's June, Men's Mental Health Month. And we're diving deep into the emotional burdens, the silent struggles, and powerful breakthroughs that men face every single day. It is really difficult for men to talk about their emotions, and we have to ask ourselves this question, and let's be honest about it. How often do we give the men in our lives space to say, I am not okay? We have all heard it. Man up, don't cry, or be strong. We all say it at some point. So no wonder men don't want to talk about their mental health. But what happens with being strong means breaking down in silence. Today's episode is not just a conversation, it's a bridge. Behind the silence, there's a story. And behind every strong man, there's a heartbeat that deserves to be heard. And that's how I'm going to move forward today, talking about the silence within the mental health space when it has something to do with men. Are we really allowing our men to say they're not doing okay? So should we hold ourselves at fault for not allowing that to happen? Because we judge them and we have all kinds of comments, all kinds of behavior and attitude towards them when they fully come out and say, hey, I'm not doing well. That is something for us, all of us, to reflect on. Here are a few truths that we need to put on the table. Men are less likely to seek mental health help, yet they are 3.9 times more likely to die by suicide. In Black and Caribbean cultures, mental health is often taboo, especially for men. Many men battle with loneliness, especially after life changes. So many men battle with loneliness, especially after life changes, like fatherhood. They've lost a child, or they have children and they just don't know what's going on, what to do. They have no sense of direction, but more so when they've lost a child. Any kind of career shifts, they deal with a lot of loneliness and emotional disruption and dysregulation. Divorce, It's also a major life change that causes a mental health shift in men. What about aging? That too is a factor and can cause a significant mental health shift with men. Here's the thing. We have to talk about this, not just, right, for men, but for the families, partners, sons, and daughters who love them. Should we be talking about mental health issues and men? Yes, because they are at the center of our families. They're core to our families. And if they're not doing well, guess what happens to the family? There's a significant shift. Why do men find it so difficult to deal with their emotions? Why? Why do men find it so difficult to deal with their emotions? Well, let me share a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him D. He says one of the hardest things he's had to do is to walk into the waiting room to wait for a therapist or to see a therapist. Because he was always told that talking to someone like a therapist or a counselor is weakness. But it's not weakness. He told me that later it was one of the best things he's ever done because he found strength in that courage. The new courage he found after really talking about his feelings and his emotions. I am going to invite you today to try it and see if you can find your strength in talking with someone. It is very difficult to be open about emotions because you may fear being judged. That's just what it is. No one wants to feel judged, No one wants to feel like they're weak. No one wants to feel that they are kind of less of a man because, again, we measure so much of who we are by some of these, egoistic, machoism, stoicism kind of a thing. Oh yeah, I'm a man. But if you walk around as a man with generational trauma, you're walking around with some very negative behaviors, or you're misguided in any way about who you truly are, you're only kidding yourself. You need help. You need to talk to someone. What is the true measure of a man? A man who can tell all of us that they're struggling. A man who is willing to say, hey, I'm not okay. That is showing your true commitment to fatherhood or just being a man. So many times fathers walk around and they play the role of father and they have nothing to give. It's all performance based. And this month, as we talk about men and mental health, it is important that we kind of fess up, open up, and step into that office. Figuratively, symbolically, however you want to show up. Just show up and talk to someone. We must look at culture and generational stigma as it relates to mental health. So many times we have been taught things within our culture about what we should do, could do, must do, and what expectation is because your grandfather did this, your father did this, and so on and so forth. It's time for us to kind of just come to the table now and be ourselves, be our own authentic self, and look at what is working and what is not working. If there's something that's not working, stop it. Try to learn a new way of looking at it, because it is only in so doing that you can change the course of history and change the course moving ahead. Walking around with trauma as a halo overhead and passing that on to your children, becoming that emotionally disconnected person in a marriage, in social circles, and in relationships is no good. It is not beneficial at all. But there is help. Yes, men struggle with their emotions because as boys you were taught to conform to traditional masculine norms that emphasize toughness, teamwork, stoicism, and competition, discouraging the expression of vulnerable emotions. I'm reading this from an article written in Psychology Today. The machoism, stoicism can also cost you your relationships because that is not true strength. It may have been something that we were all taught to do, but it doesn't work today. I know that there are also some men who are willing to contort themselves to avoid making women angry or upset. That is also an issue. So you abandon yourself and you abandon your feelings because you do not want to be seen as a disruption. You don't want to disrupt the flow. So what you do, you move around your family and you just perform. And you really have nothing to give. It's just all performance based. So you live a life of performing. Now, over time, men can get to become so hardened as a companion and as a partner that you have no real connected emotion to the person in your life. It's like living an empty life for a very long time. So I'm going to encourage you to just open up, do the best you can. It's all new for you, but it can be done. And you won't get hurt from becoming the man that you ought to be. So this is Men's Mental Health Month, the month of June. It is also Father's Day this month. Take one step towards becoming the man that you would really like to be. Talk to someone, talk with a trusted friend. We're all here to help, and we love our men. No matter where you come from, no matter your stature, no matter how you look. When we look at the statistics, we recognize that men are losing themselves to the egoistic traditional norms that you were perhaps taught to believe. And so you're stepping back from the role of leadership, the role of becoming emotionally integrated into your family systems. And we would like to make changes today. We would like to help you do so. We love our men and we want you to be here for us. We want you by our side and we're here to support you. So take that one more step today, no matter how small, and keep on stepping. We're here to step with you. So thank you again for joining me today on One More Step to Wellness. We're totally dedicated and committed to supporting each other on the journey to wellness. And until I see you again, I'm going to ask you, take care of yourself. And as we say in Jamaica, walk good. Take care.